Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, or otherwise strange content. Today, I'm coming back to you with another Disney Channel original movie. A DCOM, if you're nasty. Today we're covering Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. The name is a little bit ambiguous, so let me clarify. It's about a mom who has a date with a vampire. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it today. So the movie starts off with this Victorian era thing going on. It's kind of a classic vampire movie scene.
Release her, you monster! Our love is more powerful than a vampire's trance.
Get you a man that loves you more than a vampire's trance. Well, that was a very stark change in her mood, okay? But before you get too invested, I know it was a very emotional scene. We find out that it's just kind of a movie inside of the movie. It sets up the whole, like, premise that this kid is really into vampire stuff.
Hey, come on, this is the Revenge of Count Krusky.
No, it's not. It's the Revenge of Chelsea Hansen.
Sick sister burn.
Why should I go upstairs? Adam should go upstairs.
I mean, you could go upstairs. That would kind of help the whole situation. Anyway, the mom comes home and finds the kids watching a scary movie, and she's upset that the littlest one is, like, also watching the scary movie.
You know Taylor's scared of monsters.
Isn't everybody scared of monsters?
That is a PG movie. That means guidance from me, the parental.
Ah, back when PG meant something in a movie title. God, I felt like my grandmother saying that. Back in my day, we weren't allowed to watch those scary talkies. Not you, though, Grandma Judy. I love you. You're cool. You're a cool grandma. So the vampire-obsessed kid is doing some research on vampire hunters on the very modern computer. And his mom comes in to break the news to him that his dad is getting remarried, and it turns out that literally everybody knows that the dad is getting remarried except for the mom, apparently.
Is that Dad's wedding invitation?
You knew?
Oh, yeah, he told me last weekend when he took me to the football game. Didn't you know?
No.
Mom, you're still the bomb.
Yeah, you're the bomb.com, Mom.
Saturday night. Are you up?
What's Saturday night?
Hello? The Harvest Festival?
My favorite thing about the kids in this movie is it almost feels like they were written to be much older people, the way that they talk to each other, but then just kind of got zapped with a shrink ray and then became like 10-year-old kids.
Is that Peter?
It most certainly is. Can I take a rain check? I've still got some problems, you know, just with the way it flows.
So now Adam's in class, the teacher asks who wants to give their presentation, and like tons of people raise their hand, but then she's like, nah, you know what? Adam gets a free pass too much. He's gonna come up here and give his presentation.
Malachi Van Helsing, a noted hematologist who abandoned his thriving New York City practice to devote his life to hunting down the undead.
I love how confidently he's giving his speech while, like, nobody's into it. He's, like, pacing around like Elon Musk talking about the newest Tesla.
Are you making this up?
So Adam fails his test or report or what have you.
He got his backstage passes.
But he gets backstage passes to go to that concert with his friend. But uh-oh.
She told me that you didn't do your assignment and that you threw something together based on a made-up story in the Weekly Secret.
His mom knows that he didn't do so well in school, so he gets grounded. He's having a real roller coaster of a day for sure. And he does this hilarious thing where he tries to, like, lawyer bargain his way out of missing his concert.
I think we need to look at the bigger picture here, Lynette.
Excuse me? Since when do you call me Lynette?
I'm just trying to dialogue here.
You're 13 years old. You don't dialogue.
Doesn't work.
Enjoy your weekend, dweeb.
Arrgh. But big sister Chelsea also gets in trouble, so now guess what? They're both grounded. Good work, guys.
Well, maybe if I lock the two of you up together, you'll learn to get along.
Yes, put two siblings that are already mad at each other, stick them in a house on a Friday night when they both have plans, and make them hang out with each other instead. I'm sure they'll be much more likely to get along after that.
Mom grounded me too, remember?
I don't think he does remember. He wasn't in the room when that happened, I don't think.
Well, see if we can get Mom on a date tomorrow night. Well, she'll go out, then we'll go out. and we'll come home, then Mom comes home.
So Adam has the completely brilliant and not at all strange or creepy idea of, hey, let's set up Mom with a random guy that we find in the classified ads so that she can go on a date and we can sneak out of the house. Son of the year.
Why don't I feel better about this?
Because it's a bad idea.
Call up Peter and tell him that you have to stay home all weekend to play fish with your little brother.
I think I'm being nitpicky here, but does he mean go fish? Does anybody call it fish? I never called it fish when I was a kid.
Caring, thoughtful male, 40, great sense of humor,
Good, that's good. Good things.
currently incarcerated.
Ah, so he's probably not available this Friday, huh? Bummer.
Enjoys long strolls beneath a full moon, looking for a delicate flower just waiting to blossom.
Hates Italian food and turtlenecks.
Yeah, so they pick the most obviously vampiric of all the men that they can find in the classifieds, so this will go well. And so they send Vampire an email on behalf of their mother to go out on a date, and the reply scene is like my favorite thing. Reaches out of his coffin without even like fully getting out of it, wiggles his fingers like he does, and then just like types a reply with like the same energy of like waking up and checking your phone at 2 a.m. It's so funny. I don't know why it's so funny to me. Meanwhile, to get their mom to the meetup, they play like the biggest guilt trip card I've ever seen or heard anywhere.
You know how our family used to be? I'm remembering Saturday mornings. I'm remembering pancakes. I'm remembering being happy.
I can make pancakes.
This poor mom's just trying her best, and her kids are like, yeah, remember when we were not a broken family and we were all happy and not miserable and ate chocolate chip pancakes? Damn, I miss those pancakes. Hey, Mom, can we go out in the pouring rain at like 9 o'clock at night to get chocolate chips to make pancakes? So anyway, they get her to the supermarket, and this guy walks in looking super shady. And the brother and sister who have set this whole thing up very conspicuously go around the shop asking questions from random guys to see if they can find this guy that they're supposed to be setting their mom up with.
I just can't stand Italian food. Well, arrivederci.
Smooth. Very smooth. Why does this music remind me of the Nancy Drew Treasure in the Royal Tower music? No one knows what I'm talking about, except for me, I think.
I'm talking about a fabulous night with an incredible woman.
Can you imagine how creeped out you'd be if this random small child just came up and started talking to you like, hey, you want to meet a pretty lady? It's just so weird. And then they see this guy who came in a second ago, and they're just like, oh, that really creepy looking guy over there. Yeah, he'll be perfect for our mom. But before they can do anything about it, she runs into this British boy cart first.
Was this dented before?
Well, perhaps we should exchange driver's licenses.
Mom's making a love connection.
Are you crazy? This guy's a nut. He thinks he's in the parking lot.
I don't know how Adam's so smart in some scenes and then just so not in other scenes. It doesn't make any sense. But regardless, Mom seems to be hitting it off with this British guy, and he seems nice.
My mom's something, ain't she? Smart, funny, beautiful.
And so Adam's just like, date's a date. Let's wingman for our mom for this guy to go out with her.
Nice try, Taylor.
There's a vampire in that market, and I'm going to find him.
Poor Taylor just wants snacks and to not be plagued by vampires.
Would you do me the honor of having dinner with me tomorrow night?
But anyway, she says yes. We find out that this other guy is a vampire hunter, I think, and then this happens. Your boy just turns into a very scary, not at all badly CG'd bat, and then just flies away. And Taylor witnesses all of this, and the poor kid's just terrified. He doesn't know what to do.
Forget what I said before, Duffy. I can go to the concert. What? How could you give my backstage pass to Boomer?
You lost your backstage pass to a dude named Boomer? Tough luck, guy. Although I am jealous of the fact that he has one of those, like, late 90s, early 2000s phones where you can see all the insides of it because it's clear. Someone bring that back, nostalgia marketing. I will give you all of my money. So Adam now has to get his backstage pass back because now he can sneak out because his mom is going on a date with a vampire, in case you forgot the name of the movie.
That's all I've got.
Well, it's not enough. This is kid stuff.
But this kid doesn't want to trade his ticket back, so Adam does something even more sketchy, I think, than what he and his sister Chelsea just did. Is he volunteers Chelsea to go out on a date with this random sketch dude.
It's got to be like a real date. I got to get to kiss her goodnight.
And promises that she'll kiss him also, which, uh-oh, don't do that, Adam. It really is disturbing the ease with which Adam just, like, sells out his female relatives to get what he wants. It's kind of creepy, honestly.
If a guy turns into a bat, he's a vampire, isn't he?
Yeah, that'd do it.
Is that bad?
Well, only if he's after you. Then you're toast.
He turns you into toast?
No.
Aw, but can I be toast? I'd rather be toast. So Taylor's just desperately reaching out for help from his big brother, who usually cares a lot about vampires, and his brother's just like brushing him off like, nah, I don't care anymore, I'm going to a concert.
We gotta do something. Mom's got a date with a vampire.
Hey, that's the name of the movie. And Adam is just completely in denial that Dimitri is a vampire, even though he's very obviously a vampire.
Dimitri? Mom was right. Shouldn't be watching monster movies.
You're supposed to be the expert, Adam. Get with it. Anyway, Dimitri shows up for their date.
You just gonna stand out there? Please, come in, won't you?
That's how kids talk. Totally how every average kid talks. So Adam makes the cardinal mistake. He lets the vampire into the house. Side note, I don't know where in the movie it happened. I think it must be here because I think this is the only scene where Dimitri is at their house. But apparently this originally aired, this movie, it aired originally with a scene where Dimitri like kind of suspiciously eyes the family dog as if to imply that he wants to eat the dog. And parents were really upset about that, so they pulled that scene out of the movie like pretty quickly. And apparently like the version that has that scene is just not able to be found anywhere, which is super bizarre and weird that they would put that scene in there. That's just such a bizarre fact about this movie. Meanwhile, mom's freaking out. She's having second thoughts about this date, and the kids are like, no, please go on this date. We have our own selfish agenda, and we need you to go on this date. We're gonna tell you how cool you are so that you don't back out of this date.
There's a time when you do stuff like this, and then there's a time when, I don't know, it's just too late.
Poor mom. She's just trying her best, and her kids are just being the absolute worst kids to ever be kids. And she doesn't need to be dealing with all this crap.
Who you are is what's inside of you, and as long as you're true to that, nothing else matters.
Don't try to give us a heart-to-heart moment, movie. These kids don't deserve to have a heart-to-heart right now.
I thought we'd start with dinner at Renfield's on Main Street, then maybe some dancing, followed by a romantic carriage ride through the park.
Or we could just go to the Harvest Festival for a couple of hours.
Oh, it's great that you have all those plans that you painstakingly planned out for us, but I don't want to do any of that. Let's do my thing instead. Meanwhile, because his siblings aren't going to help him, youngest brother Taylor tries to call the vampire hunter that we saw at the store before. And Van Helsing, that's the vampire hunter's name, he's busy at the moment doing some hardcore vampire detective work. Well, I guess it's not vampire detective work because he's not a vampire. He's doing the detective work to find the vampire. You know what I mean. I'm just gonna keep watching the movie. Chill, dude. You don't have to be so extra. You're gonna light something on fire.
He was looking for someplace nice to eat. I guess he had a date or something, huh?
And this guy takes it very well, considering that he just saw, like, a bunch of footprints catch on fire in front of him or something. I don't know what happened exactly.
Yo, hey, but what about you? Huh? Test drive?
He's just, like, confronted with the supernatural, and he's just, like, undeterred. He's like, hey, want to buy a car, Mr. Vampire Man? So Taylor leaves because he's trying to take matters into his own hands, so big brother and sister chase him downtown on their bikes. Meanwhile, poor mom is dealing with her creepy date.
But why don't you try the steak? It's good for the blood.
Definitely not suspicious in any way. At all. So the older siblings catch up with the younger brother outside the restaurant.
Perhaps some garlic bread to start.
No. Thank you.
I don't know why, since he's a vampire and all, and he's that upset by garlic, why he would pick a restaurant that just, like, default brings you garlic bread. Like, you would think he would have, like, better hotspots in town where he knows how to better avoid the garlic bread, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a bad vampire, but I'm saying he's a bad vampire. Sue me.
Come on, Squirt, we gotta take you home.
Why was that line written like it was for, like, a 45-year-old stepdad? Come on, Squirt, we gotta take you home. That's how all stepdads talk. Taylor's insistent that they need to do something because Taylor is right. And the older siblings, not wanting to listen, crash the date to try to appease the little brother so that they can just take him home and not have to worry about this. It's not like they got their mom into this in the first place or anything.
Right, we need some sort of test.
The spoon test.
And, like, I really feel like Adam was the one that dropped the ball here for sure because, like, he's the expert. He could have just named any real way to, like, discern if somebody was a vampire. And then he wouldn't have actually been able to pass the test. So, you know, come on, Adam, you gotta step it up if you're such an expert. But on the way out, he sees that he can't see Dimitri in the mirror at all. And he's like, oh, shit, he really is a vampire.
You know, I see a power in you, Lynette. No, maybe not a power. More like a fire.
Oh god, even if this guy wasn't a vampire, she needs to dump him, like, now. So they drop little brother back home. Adam tells Chelsea that Dimitri really is a vampire and tries to convince her that they need to stop him before he just kills their mom, I guess. Never a conversation you want to find yourself in. Hey, you know that guy that we creepily set up mom with behind her back from the classified ad? Yeah, he's a centuries-old monster. We gotta kick him to the curb. So once the older siblings are gone to try to fix this problem, Van Helsing, the vampire hunter, he just comes rolling up, walks straight into the house, and the babysitter is like the worst babysitter in the world because she doesn't care.
Taylor, you gotta go to bed now.
Those dang teenagers just always on their phone letting vampire hunters into the house. She really should be asking more questions, though, straight up.
Want a cookie? My mom made them. They're really good.
Hey, you want a cookie that has 2 bites out of it, mister? Meanwhile, the mom takes Dimitri to like a dance club of sorts that plays... What does it play?
Don't you like rockabilly music?
What the hell is rockabilly music?
If you're asking if I'm in love, maybe.
Oh, that's rockabilly music. Thanks, I hate it. Absolutely no offense to all the rockabilly fans out there. Seriously though, I'd almost feel bad for this guy and the way his date is turning out if he wasn't just like a psychopathic vampire. So Adam sneaks into this dance club because apparently bouncers don't exist in the DCOM universe and baits this guy into dancing with his mom to try to break her away from Dimitri.
Oh, just some girls in the back, they're like, oh, Jim can't dance, blah, 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 he's a loser, blah, blah, you know, just stuff like that, right?
Yeah, they were just saying, you know, nothing too bad. Just like, you're a pathetic loser who can't dance, doesn't have rhythm, nobody likes you. Just run-of-the-mill stuff like that. Don't worry about it. But then Dimitri just kind of vampire yeets him out of the way, so it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Van Helsing's out to track down the vampire. Taylor has stowed away in his back seat, and he's just like, you can't come hunt vampires, you're too little. And the kid's just like, but I want to. And then Van Helsing's just like, okay.
You're responsible for me now.
You're responsible for me now. All these kids are like master manipulators. So Adam lets the band know that his mom used to be a singer there, and I guess she's like kind of old school royalty in this rockabilly circle, so she goes up to sing a song. Meanwhile, Adam tries to get these guys to beat up Dimitri.
Vampire thing.
Which is warranted, but like brutal, man. So Dimitri gets kicked out of the club, and then he just like rage destroys their bikes and walks up the wall and gets back in somehow. Walking up walls and massive strength are 2 things that I did not associate with vampires before this movie. Are those common traits of a vampire? I feel like this movie just kind of does with vampires what Superman movies do with Superman, where it's just like, oh, his powers are he has all the powers.
Where would you go around here if you wanted to dance?
How would I know? I'm 8.
Kid has a point, Van Helsing. He is 8. He doesn't know.
Can you believe I haven't sung in 15 years? What have I been doing?
Raising children and holding down a job and being a successful woman. Give yourself more credit, Mom. You deserve it. So, to make this movie as Halloween-y as possible, all the family members and Dimitri and basically every character in this movie pretty much ends up at the Harvest Festival together.
We had a deal, man. You had the concert pass and I got a deal with your sister.
So Chelsea finds out what Adam did to try to set her up with this guy, and she's very understandably upset. Although she just aided in doing the same thing to their mom, like, 1 day ago, so, like, is a little hypocritical, but still, it's weird, Adam. Don't do that.
Look, Chelsea, that was a lousy thing to do. And when I did it, things were different. I was different. That was this afternoon.
I love how he's just like, I was a different person then. And she's like, it was this morning. I was a different person then. God damn it, Adam.
I know that now. And I'm sorry.
Adam, you cannot just have heart-to-heart moments when you need something or somebody needs to forgive you. You have to actually mean it, Adam. I don't think you're actually sorry. Anyway, Chelsea forgives him because they've got bigger problems at hand.
I got on the Ferris wheel. I can see everything from here.
You cannot see 2 random people from the top of a Ferris wheel. Come on. But just when they spot them, the mom decides that she's way too good for Dimitri, because of course she is. And so she tries to just let him down gently, and he's just like, nah, I'm just gonna hip you. Nah, I'm just gonna Nah, I'm gonna hypnotize you now. I did not spend all this time listening to rockabilly music for nothing. My ears did not suffer in vain. My favorite thing about Dimitri as a character is how much he hisses at people. 'Cause honestly, same.
You're Wolfsbane?
Yes, I know. All the good vampire names have been taken by teenagers.
Wait till he gets to the Twilight era. He's gonna just be super pissed. Ah! Stop that. So while Dimitri's kidnapping their mother, Adam's just like, well, time to throw in the towel. And Chelsea's like, no. But they remember that Dimitri said he was renovating that giant castle-like house.
I'm restoring the old Mather house down by the lake.
And so, once again, all the characters end up in the same place, but this time it's this big-ass house.
It's good. Your mom make it?
I don't live with my mom.
Where do you live?
Hotel?
I don't live with my mom. I'm offended that you would make that assumption. Where do I live? I live in a Motel 6. But it's my Motel 6, not my mom's.
Are you sure this is where you want to get out? Suit yourself.
Just a casual offensive stereotype. Good job, Disney. Very original of you.
Listen, Adam, I just want you to know that no matter what happens, we're still a family, you know? Even if it's just you, me, and Taylor.
So Adam was about to give up like 2 seconds after finding out that his mom was being kidnapped actively, and now Chelsea's just like already mentally preparing herself for the mom to be dead. So like, oh my god, these kids need to be a little bit more determined. This is an emergency situation, you guys, that you created. Step up to the plate.
You know something? I don't care what anyone else says. You're all right.
You know, man, I know everyone hates you, but I think you're pretty neat. So the kids sneak into the house to steal the coffin.
Cell phone is to teenager what coffin is to vampire.
Interesting analogy, but okay, whatever works. Anyway, they get the coffin outside, they yeet it down the stairs, and float it in the water because vampires can't cross water. And he doesn't take it super well. So they try to bargain for their mom with Dimitri. It doesn't work.
I get my coffin, and you get your sister. Now, Chelsea is a little young to be my queen, but she'd make a lovely vampire princess.
Oh god, don't. That's so creepy. Don't. This can't get any creepier, but then it just keeps getting creepier.
Hello? Peter, I'm kind of busy right now.
You could have called for help. What are you thinking, Chelsea? Tell Peter where you are.
I need you to stay just like that. I'll be back.
Alright, kid, I'm gonna go in and kill the vampire. You stay here with all my garlic. See ya! Oh, that's gotta suck, Mr. Vampire Man. So Dimitri's not a very happy camper. He knocks Van Helsing to the floor, but then Taylor's the one that comes in and saves the day.
Leave him alone.
Good for Taylor.
Enough! What is it with this family? Don't you get it? Your kids, I'm a vampire.
You have to respect me. I'm a big, scary vampire. But then just like in the beginning of the movie, when True Love saved the lady in the fake movie from the vampire spell, the mom's spell is broken because she loves her kids so much, which is actually pretty wholesome. That's cute. And in a lovely team effort, they all pull together and Dimitri gets nailed into his coffin with silver nails.
Hi.
Hello. Van Helsing.
And as it turns out, Van Helsing really is the mom's type. So now they're a big, happy vampire hunting family. Yay!
Oh, I never did make those pancakes.
Have you tried them with chocolate chips?
Oh my god, you eat chocolate chip pancakes? You're so quirky and unique. And then the credits start rolling while Dimitri's just like, hello? Can I come out, please?
All right, you can let me out now. It's a joke. It's all a big joke. Say that?
So yeah, that's the end of Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. I hope you guys liked this video. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this movie before because I think it's a pretty popular DCOM, but it's getting towards Halloween time and I really wanted to cover it. I've been wanting to cover it for a while, so here we are. I'm going to wrap up this video here because my camera battery is dying. So thank you guys so much for being here, for liking, watching, commenting, subscribing, sharing. I said that in a completely different order than I usually say it, but sentiment's still the same. I appreciate you guys so, so, so much. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. Bye!